are fortunate enough to once again be taping at Garden Fest, and it is just really exciting for me to actually have people that are watching me instead of just Kevin. So today we're going to do something that all of us can benefit from. I'm going to do trail mix. Now, this time of year or any time of year, we often are going somewhere, or it's just a good idea to have something along. Maybe you're just going to the supermarket, but if you can take some food with you, then when that terrific thing there that's going to make you impulse buy something that you didn't have on your list hits, then you can have a little bit to snack on. Maybe you're taking a hike, going camping, just going on a long road trip. Having something that's available can keep you from eating things that are less healthful. Now, I will tell you that this one is not necessarily as low calorie as you might think, but it is fresh. You know what you've got. You can control the sodium content and some things like that. So we're going to start with peanuts, and I've got a half a cup of each ingredient that I'm going to add. You can flex ingredients in and out. Just remember, it's a half a cup of about 6 different kinds of things. So I've got about a half a cup of peanuts. Now, I'm using lightly salted peanuts from the market. You can really affect the sodium content of this by the type of peanut that you choose. If you choose unsalted peanuts, they have no sodium on them at all. Lightly salted have about 95 milligrams of sodium per serving. And you go to the full-fledged roasted peanut with the salt, all the salt and all the whistles, and you're going to have about 190 milligrams of sodium. So if you're worried about the sodium content, you can really affect that by the ingredients that you choose. I'm also going to add almonds. Now again, half a cup. Just these are almonds out of the baking section in the supermarket. You could choose a different kind of nut. These are where the calories are going to primarily come from, because both of these ingredients are high in fat. So this is where the fat resulting in the calories will be. So if you wanted to change and lower the fat content, you could substitute out, use one kind of nut, substitute in another kind of cereal. I'm also going to add some dried fruit, because that's going to add some sweetness to it. So I have some apples. These are just dried apples that I've cut in relatively small pieces. I've got dried cranberries. You could use dried blueberries, dried raisins, which are dried grapes, any kind of dried fruit that you might have. I've also got a couple of different kinds of cereal. Now, these are whole grain cereals. This is a whole grain wheat pillow type of cereal, and the advantage to having that whole grain is that it gives you more fiber. It also gives you some nutrients that are removed during the refining process, when we usually have enriched and fortified cereals, but there are some things that don't get added back. And so that if you can aim for at least half of your cereals and grains during the day being whole grain, you get a lot of nutritional benefit. It's not the same as adding fiber. There's more to a whole grain than simply fiber. So looking for grains that give you a whole grain product at least half the time is a good choice. So this is a whole wheat product. Also going to add some real familiar products here. Anybody who's ever had children has seen a lot of these. A whole oat, a toasted oat cereal that's in a ring form. Now, simply stir those together. Now, the other trick to this is how you store it. Now, we want to store it in some way that you can carry it easily. And you could say, well, I can do that. I'll just store it in a big bin. What we're going to do is actually divide it into half-cup servings. So we're going to fill little baggies that we can take with us with about a half a cup. Ziploc those shut, and then you can put them into a container or into a larger Ziploc bag, and those are ready to pull out one at a time. The other advantage to this is we're not always eating this when we're on the road. I find this to be a very tasty snack when I'm sitting around the house as well. The disadvantage to that, if I'm around the house, is that I'll take the big container and I'll just start snacking, and before you know it, I've eaten half of the container. Whereas if I've done this, well, at least I have to get up 2 or 3 times in order to do that, which probably means I'm going to eat less, although not always. I hope you'll give this one a try. It's great for on the road. It's called Trail Mix. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown. Thank you.